Thank you very much, and welcome everyone, and thank you for your interest in this session. My name is Mercedes Pantoja. Since 4th January, I am Head of Applications and Data Architecture at E.ON, and which is a leading German company in the renewable energy industry sector. Before E.ON, I spent 17 years in the aviation industry, but I'm here to share with you the challenge of an end-to-end data architecture in today's organizational needs. So we have said today several times, today most organizations are clear that the way they get information from data could be one of the most decisive competitive factors. So in the current climate, data analytics is expected to create value for organizations. However, realizing such value is much more difficult, and many challenges will be encountered during the adoptions of big data analytics technologies and the implementation and its strategy along the entire organization. But for most of the companies, to become a data-driven company is the one and the core aspects of the digital transformation. And this is a mandate impacting the full organization. So on the other side, big data technology entails collecting and processing large volumes of data from a variety of sources. Modern organizations are data intensive by nature, and the use of this data can provide new insights. At this level, data can only be processed, can be transformed and used with the help of new technologies. In this sense, big data is an accelerator of new technologies. And we see here some of them used by the energy industry and by E.ON today. Yeah, the data challenge relates to the characteristics of the data itself. For example, the data volume, the velocity, the veracity, volatility, quality, discovery, and dogmatism. Yeah, so new demands are, and challenges too, are coming to the enterprise architecture. Today, we need a new culture and to have a smell for business perspectives. We need really new roles and new capabilities, more orientated on discovery phase on the data. We have to deal with multiple distributed sources of data and the diverse nature of data too. We need new technologies, as said before. We need to get the maximum from the infrastructure to support these new technologies. We need new reference architectures too, and to deal with policy constraints like compliance, security, governance, and ethical expectations. And we have legacy. We have legacy on current processes, on databases. We have fragmented and silo applications. And of course, we have the battle on data ownership. But how should it look like an end-to-end reference architecture, allowing a seamless data flow across the whole IT landscape and following innovative business processes, and which are the challenges of this design today? I wanted to show you a proposal of Gartner, because we are at E.ON, we are dealing with different architectures at the moment. And I would like to show you this kind of reference, which has all the components we need on the whole data journey inside an organization. We have the acquire files, which is dealing with different formats, different sources, different technologies, different platforms. We have the organize phase, where we are using different platforms to deal with the data. We have the analyze phase, when we are applying different technologies and algorithms. And at the end, we have to deliver to different stakeholders, to different channels, different systems. So So the reference data architecture challenge today, I see, we have the challenge on the end-to-end processes, following the 5 hows, how to capture data, how to integrate data, how to transform data, how to select the right model for analysis, and how to provide the results, and for the whole entire global organizations. And how are the management challenges? They are management strategy challenges on the data management and the data governance and on the whole architecture. And we have the policy constraints in the adoptions of privacy, security, governance, on ethical thoughts. At the end, a blueprint approach, as the one shown before, or based on the Gartner suggestion. This kind of blueprint approach deal with the uncertainties and complexities by ensuring a configurable IT landscape and providing the incremental approach to adapting the new infrastructure step by step. So it's possible to make it scalable. Together with a right process approach, I am very, very confident that we will have, we will deliver quick gains. But both requires the organization to have sufficient dynamic capabilities. And an organization has tried to deal with this challenge with different organizational setups, not only in E.ON, but in other companies. I know there are sometimes parallel approach, taking into account that we have exploration and exploitation aspects. Yeah, the exploration aspect has the focus more on innovation, on search, discovery, and experimentation. And the capabilities are different. They are more based on data science expertise, developing new standards and principles, and collecting data across the organization. There are 2 parallels approach at this phase. We are working might be not very, very aligned at all stages. And we have the exploitation phase, which is a more focus on gradual improvement, refinement, efficiency, and integration of data architectures. In here, we need to integrate processes, systems, data models, and we need to enable the data management and governance across the organization. In a best case, it is good if during the exploration phase, both have close touch points, they are sharing objectives, and they are working together, so that the integration in the exploitation phase is almost done, so that you need just to apply all the insights you have during the exploration phase. So at the end, we have these 2 parties who are collaborating. In the exploration phase, we have the data analytics NAE part and the enterprise architecture part. The data analytics NAE part, as I say, is more focused on discovery. They are enable group-wide use of data in NAE. They are more innovative and deliver data-driven solutions. They manage company-wide skills and knowledge on data analytics and artificial intelligence. They share and exchange best practice for data and analytics activities. They are developing data and analytics platforms together with other units in implementing that. And they are acting directly at business following business cases. They are very close to the business, sitting to the business together with the data scientists. On the other side, we have the enterprise architecture, who has need to have a big picture of the interdependencies between all IT components. And the enterprise architecture needs to know very well the as-is architecture and needs to define the reference architectures, which will be the templates for the target architectures at the end. Enterprise architectures define in defend, and I am putting emphasis in defend because they need to defend standards and principles, because they need to get aligned the whole organizations on those standards and principles as much as possible. And they promote reutilization of building blocks, creating even during this exploration phase. Enterprise architecture apply governance company-wide, and they enable an agile, in the best case, an agile, intelligent digital transformation. So how do you see, we have two parties working on data and the data strategy from two different perspectives, and in the middle, we have the data architecture. So a modern enterprise architecture for the part of the data architecture, we need today a paradigm shift. Yeah, you need to go for supporting. We used to support the data for a certain purpose. No? We used to document well-structured database to collect data, mostly storage in relational databases with known schemes. Ownership was not relevant, and we used to have a top-down governance in some cases. Today, we need to support the data and artificial intelligence strategy at the enterprise. We need to acquire data science knowledge. We need to know more about these new technologies, these new possibilities. We need to enable discovery and access to unstructured data from multiple sources. So we need clear definition of data ownership too. And we very strongly need a local autonomy and agile collaborative governance. So as you say, even from the business architecture based on capability maps we were used to work with, we need to shift to demand an excellent business process modeling, yeah, in order that we are able to drive a coherent IT landscape architecture to easily collect, process, and exchange data. Yeah, and we should not be just focused on have a maintainable and stable data centers. We need to use all the advantage of the new infrastructures in terms of scalability. Yeah? And to understand the big data analytics opportunities for the whole organization. So a modern, at the end, the goals are the same. Data architecture is to translate business needs into data and systems design and to enable the data flow through the enterprise. And we still have, in the whole scope of the data architecture, interactions. We are inside the global enterprise architecture, and we have interaction with different layers. With the business layer, to get aligned, to be integrated, supportive, and to know the business processes, and to enable automation, yeah, on business operations. We need to be integrated with the application layer to enable data leverage from different sources and to promote the reuse of data models. We need to integrate with integrations layers to unblock the end-to-end data flow. And we need to interact with the infrastructure layer just to ensure that the data is available. No matter from which source or who is the owner, we need to get this information, this availability of the data. And we integrate with the technology layer as we need to know different new technologies and apply different technologies along this phase, the acquisition phase, the organizational phase of the data, the analysis of the data, and the delivery. And at the end, we have two big ways to do it: through reference data architectures, end-to-end, yeah, defining standards and principles to be considered, and through data architecture governance, which is not data governance. Data governance is more an accountability of the data analytics and artificial intelligence unit, but for the data architecture governance should be in our focus, just to have having a strong alignment with business and with data analytics and artificial intelligence, ensuring that this data architecture is designed and implemented correctly across the full organization. Yeah, and last but not least, at the end, we are facilitating global adoption with enterprise data architecture. And let me share some of the principles of a modern data architectures, which are, for instance, the data has a shared asset. A modern data architecture needs to eliminate departmental data silos and give all stakeholders a complete view of the company in self-service mode if it's possible. Users require adequate access to data. So beyond breaking the silos, modern data architectures needs to provide interfaces to make it easier for users to consume data during using all the tools that they need for their jobs in a self-service modus. Security is essential, that is clear. Common vocabularies ensure common understanding. So data should be curated, invest in core functions that performs data curation, like modeling, relationships, cleansing raw data, and curating key dimensions and measures of the data. Data flow should be optimized for agility, reducing the number of times data must be moved to reduce cost, to increase data freshness, and optimize enterprise agility. Cloud native, of course, in order to get advantage of the elastic scalability, high availability, end-to-end security for data, and emotion in data at rest, and cost and performance when scaling. Seamless data integration. Data architectures integrate with legacy applications today too, using standard APIs interfaces in order that you can isolate a bit of the legacy, and they are optimized for sharing data across systems, geographies, and different organizations in order to build ecosystems. We need real-time data enabled. Modern data architectures support the ability to deploy automated and active data validation, classification, management, and governance. And one very, very important for the next years is the coupled and extensible design. It means modern data architecture are designed to be closely coupled, enable services to perform minimal tasks independent of other services. We are going to the area of microservices. Data architectures needs to be flexible to support the microservice architecture and to be exchangeable with the needs that we have along this adoption journey.